Professional cooks have two great loves, fire and knives. And it makes sense. These are the tools that we use to transform ingredients into the food that we put on the plate to put in front of you at the restaurant. And today I wanted to go through some of the knives that we use on a daily basis. There are a lot of gadgets out there and there are a lot of knives to choose from, but really at the end of the day, all you really need is a good chef's knife. And this is my chef knife. It's one of my favorite tools ever. I love it so much I got a tattoo of it. It's made from cut Brooklyn, handmade, stamped steel, sharper than anything I've ever seen before. And that chef knife is going to be my main tool for everything that I do in the kitchen. Next in line, we have a paring knife. This is going to be used for some more minute, fine things, maybe some garnishing, or anything where the weight and the size of the chef knife gets in the way. Even more specifically, we get into this boning knife. This is a flexible boning knife. And we're going to use the flexible boning knife to take down a chicken or to break down meat to get in between some ligaments and bones sometimes. And that flexibility is going to help us really work it in there and get it really close to the meat that we're taking off of the bone. We can also use, this is called a santoku. It is a Japanese style knife. It's made for cutting vegetables, and these dimples along the edge here exist so that the vegetables, as you're cutting them, fall off of the knife and don't stick to the knife. Another one you might see used is a cleaver. This is used more for chopping. This one is nice and short, and I use it at lunch to cut sandwiches in half, and really that's about it. But it's going to be good if you need to get a really sharp chopping motion on something to break it apart. And then we have our bread knife, which is serrated to break through that crust in a nice crusty bread. And then it's going to cut through, giving you a nice slice of bread. And in a similar vein, we have this carving knife, which you can use on your prime rib station, for your turkey, or even for cakes and pies. It's got a nice blunt edge, nice long and sharp, and it doesn't have the height of some of these choppers, which is going to help you move through the meat or the cake a lot easier because there's not as much weight, there's not as much things there to stick to it. And then we have our steel, which we use to hone the knives, and we'll go through that a little bit more in another video. But these are going to help keep your knives sharp, and you're going to want to hone your knives before and after every use. And then finally, I threw in a nice heavy-duty pair of kitchen shears. These you're going to use to maybe cut up chives, maybe you're going to cut some herbs up, or maybe you're just going to open up some packages with them. They're a little bit safer than whipping a knife out. But oftentimes I find myself thinking, oh, I would like to use a pair of scissors for this as opposed to bringing out a knife. And this is my professional kit. This is what I take to work every day. This is what I take to gigs. But here in my home block, you're going to see a lot of the same knives. We've got the chef's knife. This is a Victorinox block. These are my favorite brand. They're very affordable, and that's what I used for years when I was cooking on the line. And then I've just collected some other ones. Here's a cheapy serrated knife that stays in here. We've got a more fine-toothed serrated knife. There's that boning style knife again. That's the straighter edge. And this set's version of a paring knife. We have our shears down here underneath. They're a little bit smaller, but they work super well, and they keep tucked down under there. And then our bread knife here. And just like my professional set, we have a steel to hone the knives with before and after you're using them. And that's it. That's everything, way more than you're ever going to need at home. Honestly, a good chef knife will carry you through most any day. Tell me which knife is your favorite, or if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And don't be afraid to smash that subscribe button.